Today we will start with last topic of our UV spectroscopy. In this, after doing all the numericals based on dienes, polyenes and then enones, now we will just try to understand why in enones the lambda maximum value increases, that is in alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds, why the lambda maximum value is more than the dienes or polyenes. In this, if we see in this diagram, we can clearly understand these are the various electronic states shown. This is pi and this is pi star and this is n. In alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds, we know that there are n to pi star transitions. N to pi star transitions are forbidden transitions. This we have already done in selection rules. And the pi to pi star transitions are allowed transitions. Why these are allowed or why these are forbidden, this we have already done in the selection rules. Now, if we understand when they are present isolated, then there is no difference, then the absorption takes place for pi to pi star at 190 nanometer and for n to pi star 280 nanometer. But when there is a conjugation, then the energy difference decreases. Then, as we have shown in this diagram, this is for ethylene, that is one double bond is present. This is pi to pi star is shown, and in this carbonyl compound there is pi to pi star and n to pi star. These both transitions are shown. Now, in this, when there is a conjugation like this, that is C double bond O, then single, then double bond, there is a alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound in conjugation. Then the difference between these two levels decreases. That is, this difference becomes very small. In this, the pi to pi star transitions takes place at 230 nanometer and 9 to pi star transitions takes place at 320 nanometer. So the due to conjugation, these splits into two, pi 1 and pi 2, and this is HOMO orbital, that is highest unoccupied molecular orbital, and this again split into two, pi star 3, pi star 4, and this is LUMO, that is lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. Now we have to see the difference between these HOMO and LUMO orbitals only, and now this difference is very much decreased. Here is this, here it is this, in this, but in this it is decreased and it shifts to longer wavelength. It is indicated by its value, that is 230 nanometer pi to pi star, and for n to pi star 320 nanometer. So this is the effect of conjugation. If when there is no conjugation, generally if we were taking ethylene as an example, in this the absorption occurs at 175 nanometer, and in carbonyl, if it is isolated, then the absorption of pi to pi star at this and n to pi star at this. But when both are in conjugation, that is this, then the orbitals are further split, and this here, and then this energy difference between HOMO and LUMO decreases, and due to this, now the absorptions takes place at longer wavelength, that is 230 nanometer for pi to pi star transitions, and for n to pi star transitions 320 nanometer. This is how the transitions are shifted towards the longer wavelength due to conjugation in alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. Now, the last topic is applications of UV spectroscopy. There are so many things we have done in this chapter, so we can easily write the applications. First is detection of function groups. We can find out function groups as we have done above in this particular example also, that for a pi to pi star transition value is different, for n to pi star transitions value is different. So we can easily identify whether there is a double bond present between carbon-carbon double bond, or it is present between carbon and hetero atom. So we can easily distinguish the function groups. And then one more thing, if the compound does not show ladder maximum above 200 nanometer, so it cannot contain a conjugated chromophore or aldehyde or keto group or benzene ring or a bromo or iodo group. So we can easily identify the functional groups and the conjugation between the various groups. Then second is distinction between conjugated and non-conjugated compounds, that is almost the same. Here it is a conjugation, here is a no conjugation. So in this the values will shift towards the longer wavelength, and here will be at a just shorter wavelength compared to this. This will indicate the conjugation. Similar, we can know the determination or extent of conjugation, how much conjugation is present, because the conjugation again lowers the energy, and so the energy between the HOMO and LUMO orbitals, and then the absorption shift towards the longer wavelength. This we have also done in earlier in examples of ethene, then butadiene, then hexatriene. So we can easily determine the extent of conjugation. So next is detection of impurities. Impurities also changes the absorption maximum. As we know that alcohol do not absorb, pure alcohol do not absorb in the region of UV. But when there is a benzene present in the ethanol, then it will absorb at around 254 nanometer. So it shows how the impurities can be detected in a organic compound. And so next is the quantitative analysis. We have used this Beers-Lambert's law. By using this law, we can easily determine the quantitative aspect of the absorption, and this we have already done. And so next is determination of strength of hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding also alters the absorption maximum, because when there is a hydrogen bonding present between the molecules, then the energy decreases. Energy decreases means the stability increases. That is, stability increases, that is, or we can say energy decreases, then it will automatically move towards the longer wavelength. So it is noted that energy or that is strength of hydrogen bond between water and acetone is 5 kJ per mole, which is an excellent agreement with the known strengths of hydrogen bond. So we can easily correlate that there is hydrogen bonding present or not. This we have also done in earlier examples also. We can see in this example also, this is trans-stilbene, this is cis-trans-stilbene, cis-stilbene and trans-stilbene. Out of these, trans is more stable, because the heavy groups, phenyl groups, are opposite to each other, so it is more symmetrical, it is more stable. It is more stable, that is, it has less energy. It means it will have longer wavelength. So here the absorption shifts to 294 nanometer, but in it is 278 nanometer. So the stability of a molecule can also be easily seen by the values of this, or values can easily correlate the cis or trans isomers. And then comes the next study of keto-enol tautomerism. In this again, when we compare this keto form of ethyl acetoacetate with acyl acetoenol form, in the keto form no hydrogen bonding is present, so it will show N to pi star transition mainly, and the intensity will be low because N to pi star is a forbidden transition. So there is a lambda maximum is only 20. But in the enol form, there is a hydrogen bonding present. Due to hydrogen bonding, there is no longer carbonyl group gives its main N to pi star transition. There will be pi to pi star transition, and it will be at higher intensity, and it will give a strong band, that is having intensity 18,000. So we can easily make out whether the compound is in tautomerism, that is into an enol form or not. So easily these forms can be identified in the UV spectrum, and this is how it determines the keto-enol tautomerism. UV spectroscopy is very helpful in charge transfer complexes. In this, there are charge transfer donors and charge transfer acceptors. These are the electron species and these are the electron deficient species. So these form complexes, and these complexes can also be detected by the UV spectroscopy. These complexes, in this, electrons are transferred from the donor to the acceptor molecules. This results in production of two new molecular orbitals, and a transition between these new orbitals gives rise to a new absorptions. In fact, appearance of this new additional absorption band is regarded as a criterion for the formation of charge transfer complex. So these charge transfer complexes can be easily understood by seeing their UV spectra. Now comes the study of hindered rotation and conformational analysis. In this, we can next is study of hindered rotation and conformation analysis. Now the hindered rotation can also be studied with the help of UV spectroscopy. If we see these examples of biphenyl, this is these two rings are at 45 degree to each other. But if there is a group like this present, then it is the rotation further is decreased due to this bulky group, and now when the rotation decreases, then the molecule will absorb at longer wavelength, shorter wavelength, that is it is around 237. But in this, where there is no steric hindrance like here bulky due to bulky groups, then here it is at longer wavelength and it is 250 nanometer. And the main thing to be noted here is when there is a no restriction due to groups present at the ortho positions, then there is a strong absorption and it is around 19,000, and here due to restricted rotation the intensity is very weak and it is 2500. So the intensity further shows how the absorption maxima is strong or weak. So the rotation is restricted or not. Similarly, in sterically hindered dienes also shows this character. Now last is the progress of reaction. In the progress of reaction, we can also understand by UV spectroscopy how the various intermediates formed in the reaction can be identified by this UV spectroscopy, and the two type of transitions, that is n pi star and pi to pi star transitions, can also be seen in the reaction when is proceeding. That is, characteristic of n pi star, absorption band of the ketone will start disappearing, and since alcohols are transparent in UV region, therefore the complete absence of the n pi star absorption band due to ketone shows its complete reduction at the corresponding level. That is, we can easily understand the progress of any reaction by the appearing or disappearing of some absorption maxima in a spectrum. It's all about the UV spectroscopy. With this, we have completed the UV spectroscopy chapter, that is our main unit, and then in the next video we will continue with next chapter. So thank you.